Thank you very much, and a very good evening to you from the Look North Saturday News team. The Rotherham Show is taking place this weekend, with the community insisting it is right the event goes ahead. It's 2 weeks since a devastating report revealed 1,400 children in the town had been abused. The police and council have been condemned for failing to act. South Yorkshire's Police and Crime Commissioner Sean Wright, who has been criticised for failing to resign, decided not to attend the event. The dreadful weather summed up the spirit of this year's Rotherham Show. The traditional free event, which attracts around 100,000 people, would go on despite the prevailing mood.
Everybody feels so ashamed, and really we'd like to say it's just a small part, a very small minority thing. It's not, we don't want Rotherham to be represented just by a recent event.
It is still a difficult time for the town to be celebrating, though. Indeed, the initial programme for the show had to be reprinted to remove Councillor Roger Stone, who resigned as leader almost 2 weeks ago. His welcoming words were replaced instead by the Mayor's, who was challenged himself today to ensure funding is in place for victim support services.
This is absolutely appalling that these people are waiting 6 months' time. They are in crisis, they need help. We're asking you for help.
Well, I hear what
please.
you say, and I will, within my remit as the Mayor and within the meetings that I attend as a Labour member in Rotherham, I will do that.
There are significant issues that the council and partners are having to deal with. A big chunk of those are obviously historic issues, and we are trying to move on and do all the other things that we need to do for Rotherham, whilst not in any way, stepping away from what has been a really difficult piece of Rotherham's history.
As a community, and I myself have been born in Rotherham, we need to make sure that we all stand together, we stand united, and we do not let the current issues what are happening today affect us. This is our town, and at the end of the day we have to live here and we have to stand together.
But even today, another group, Britain First, came to the town to demonstrate.
And today is a day for serious, committed patriots.
A separate protest by the English Defence League continues. Moving forward with its own genuine voice will be the challenge for the town, one that won't be overcome with community events alone. Now, some news that's developing this afternoon. 2 people have been taken to hospital after part of the ground floor of a house collapsed in Bradford. The incident happened at the house on Parkside Road, West Bowling, this afternoon. The injuries are not thought to be serious. Sheffield's world boxing champion Kell Brook, who was attacked while on holiday in Tenerife, is expected to return to Yorkshire on Monday. The reigning welterweight champion is recovering in hospital after being stabbed in the arm and leg after a night out. Kell has described the attack as a major setback, but says he will make a return to boxing. A 24-year-old man is being questioned by police after a man died following an assault in Sheffield city centre. The 42-year-old victim died after being assaulted at the junction of West Street and Eldon Street just before midnight last night. Green Party members from Yorkshire have travelled to Birmingham this weekend for their party conference. Their policies include renationalising the railways and increasing the minimum wage to £10 an hour by 2020. In next year's general election, they will be standing in at least 75% of seats. That's twice as many as in 2010.
When you talk to people and when you walk around in the street, you feel a sense of support. People like the Greens. The problem is, of course, our voting system, but we've got to jump beyond that. If people would only vote with their hearts, we would actually get Greens, far more Greens in Parliament and on local councils.
Now let's get on to the sports results. And because of the international fixtures, a greatly curtailed programme today. Indeed, only one game to tell you about in League One, where it finished Bradford 1, Yeovil 3. Moving on into League Two, York threw away a 2-goal lead before finally securing all 3 points with a penalty just 15 minutes from time. Not much sign of the summer sunshine today. Here's the forecast with Alina Jenkins.
Hello again. A fair amount of rain around today, which took its time to clear, and still some around for a time this evening. Eventually it will clear away eastwards, and then some clearer skies overnight, which will allow temperatures in rural spots to dip down to single figures. These are temperatures in town and city centres, so a chilly start to Sunday, but a bright one. A much better day in prospect. Some good spells of sunshine, cloud coming and going, and it will be dry, and a high tomorrow of around 18 Celsius. Feeling quite pleasant in light winds. Bye-bye.
That's all we've got time for this afternoon. Our Sunday bulletin is at 10 to 7 tomorrow evening. And don't forget, before that, you can keep up to date this weekend with your BBC local radio station, Sheffield, Leeds and York, on air all weekend with the latest news, travel, weather and sport. From all the Saturday Look North team, thanks for your company. See you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
Good evening. It was a bit of a mixed bag to start the weekend. The satellite sequence shows this swirl of cloud across northern Scotland. That's the centre of an area of low pressure and associated weather fronts drifting east across England and Wales with sunshine and showers following along behind. So it's showers really to take us through the evening across England and Wales. They should be gone by the small hours of the morning. Clear skies following along behind, so temperatures here will dip well into single figures, maybe a few patches of fog to go with that. And notice in the north of Scotland, it's pretty wet through the overnight period and on into the morning. And in fact, the north of Scotland will be a focal point for some of the wettest weather on Sunday. 20 to 40 millimetres of rain quite widely. Some places will see a bit more than that. And that rain accompanied by some pretty brisk winds. So it's cool and wet in the north and the east of Scotland to start the day. A different story, though, through the central lowlands. Some sunshine here. Northern Ireland might start a bit on the cloudy side, but not so for Wales. Through the Midlands should be a lovely start to the day here. But still some of that cloud across the southernmost counties. That should help to keep those temperatures up through the morning, and just the odd spot of rain to go with that. Should be a decent start to the day across northern England. Might just be a bit on the cool side first thing for the Great North Run, but all in all it looks like pretty good conditions for that race. Pretty wet, pretty windy for much of the day across the north and the east of Scotland, but elsewhere it's a decent sort of day. Some good sunny spells for many, but that cloud in the south, well, that's slowly melting away into the afternoon. It should be quite warm once again in the London area at 21 or 22 degrees. Into next week, and there's a lot of dry weather in the forecast. It may well be a bit cloudy, but at least temperatures are doing quite well, around about normal.
Leaping into view next on BBC One, the live tumble semi-final, and you can vote.
Did the 1966 World Cup mark the birth of modern football?
Would we starve without bees?
Why do Buddhists meditate?
Is rocket science easier than you think? Well, BBC I Wonder is full of great questions for curious people like us. They just keep on coming. Luckily, they have the answers as well. Actually, could we leave it there? Because I'd quite like to just concentrate on this. BBC I Wonder.